You see one of them hanging around whenever Man City have success. The Gallagher brothers from what used to be Oasis are perhaps the most avid football supporters among British rock bands. By their own admission, they should have been Man United fans, but a grumpy father stopped them. So why do Noel and Liam Gallagher support Man City? Who is their favorite footballer? And how come Liam's daughter dates a Liverpool player? Like this video and subscribe to the channel, and we're off to answering all these questions. One thing is for sure, Noel and Liam Gallagher aren't glory hunters, although they became Man City fans when the best team in Manchester was the Blue Side. And no, we aren't talking about the last 10 years. Back in the early 70s, United were a bit of a mess, despite doing pretty well a decade before. The 70s were also when two brats from Manchester attended their first football game. The first game my dad ever took me to was City against Newcastle at Main Road in 1971, recalled Noel Gallagher. That was it. City became my team. To give you a bit of a perspective of how things were for the two clubs, here is the league table for the season 1971-72. City finished 4th and qualified for UEFA Cup, while United finished 8th and qualified for nothing. But it's not like Man City were a powerhouse at the time. They just happened to finish a few spots above the City rivals. This culminated in the season 1973-74 when United got relegated, fittingly following a 1-0 defeat to arch-rivals Man City. However, United's misery wouldn't last for long. After a few rocky years, they would be back closer to the top, and then Sir Alex Ferguson would step in, and you know what followed next. The gap between the City rivals was the biggest in 1998 when Man City got relegated from the second tier. The same year, United finished second in the Premier League and reached the Champions League quarterfinals. And by their standards, that was a terrible season. It was also around that time when Oasis peaked with What's the Story Morning Glory. One of the most popular rock bands in the country and the world supported a team in the 3rd division. Noel Gallagher vividly remembers the period. Over the years, when City have been struggling and United have become the best team in Europe, I've sometimes wondered why my dad brought me to Main Road rather than Old Trafford. And in fact, Noel and Liam's father Tommy could have done precisely that, if he hadn't been a grumpy fella keen to upset his family. My dad hated his brothers, said Noel in 2000. They were all Irish people who came over here and decided to support United. My dad chose City instead, just to piss them off. Liam and I should by rights have been United fans. So at the time, embracing the Man City fandom meant embracing mediocrity. Nothing reflects this better than the noisy neighbors talk that used to apply to the club. Even these days, you can see City fans being ironic about it. There was Man City, and then there was the noisy blue nose with a celebrity in the stands. It would take a long time and the royal family from the Middle East for City to become as good as United and even better. But eventually, the power shift happened. October 2011, Old Trafford. Every Man City fan knows the date, and every Man United fan would rather not. City destroys United 6-1 in their own backyard on what was Sir Alex Ferguson's worst ever day. But few remember the other Manchester derby that season, the 1-0 home win for Man City on matchday 36, Vincent Kompany being the only goal scorer. Winning that game allowed City to reclaim the top spot with only 2 games left in the season. Before the clash, Liam Gallagher visited the Etihad and blessed his favorite team by saying City would go on to win the league if they win the derby.
And I reckon if we win, we'll go on and win the league, innit, man?
Which is exactly what happened.
They've done it! City win the title! It's a Aguero!
City won their first league title in 44 years thanks to a late-minute goal by Sergio Aguero in what is probably the greatest Premier League moment, on a par maybe with Leicester City's title win. But the thing is, you'll probably never see the two brothers celebrating together. If you know a bit about Oasis, you probably know that the two don't speak to each other. Since 2009, when the band split up, Liam and Noel have only ever thrown insults at each other. Even their favorite club winning the first league title in 44 years didn't bring them back together. Noel was in South America and watched the final game of the season at a local bar owned by his friend. Liam was in Manchester and spent the night with the footballers, and they definitely didn't discuss the tactics. Since around that time, the Gallagher brothers became a constant presence around the club, but only in a one-brother-at-a-time fashion. They attend football games when they can, including away clashes. Liam was once collared by the Spanish police after he caused a disturbance at Santiago Bernabeu when Man City played Real Madrid. They present new Man City kids for seasons ahead. They passionately defend their team against financial doping allegations. Being more media-friendly and more approachable in general, Noel even interviews City players like Mario Balotelli, or for example, he was the first person to interview Pep Guardiola on his arrival at Man City.
The man. Welcome to Manchester.
Thank you so much.
But once again, the Oasis brothers are never together. Even the power of their favorite football team is not enough to make it up between them. Every once in a while, one of them says he is ready to reunite, only to accuse the other guy of spoiling everything later. Most recently, Liam claimed he was up for it if City won the Champions League. City won the trophy and the treble, and it felt like, if not now, then never. And of course, what happens next? Liam claims he asked Noel to reunite but got rejected. Same as the Gallagher brothers' hatred for each other perhaps can only compare to the hatred they have for Man United. Here is a quote from Noel. "I hate them and cannot stand them, their ground or their manager. It's a hatred that steadily grows. I hate them more than yesterday." End of the quote. But in recent years, they have actually given more shit to Liverpool as the one team that challenged their darlings for trophies. Noel told Liverpool fans not to be sad they lost the league title in 2019 by 1 point. They still have the biggest KFC in Europe. Liam acted like an average Twitter user when City's dramatic comeback against Steven Gerrard's Aston Villa won them the Premier League title in 2022. Again by 1 point, again against Liverpool. But what is funny is that Liam is now somewhat connected to Liverpool. His daughter dates centre-back Nat Phillips from Liverpool Football Club. "We have obviously met with Liam, but only a few times," admitted Phillips. "Every time I've met him, he's been fine with me, which is ideal as a son-in-law." But naturally, it's not the unremarkable Nat Phillips from FC Liverpool who's the favorite footballer of the Noisy brothers. Instead, it is a man born in the Soviet Union and named Georgi Kinkladze. The Georgian midfielder was a big fish in a small pond kind of footballer. Despite having offers from Barcelona, Inter and Liverpool, he opted to stay at Man City even in the second tier, winning the hearts of local fans, including those of the Gallagher brothers. When Kinkladze attended one of Oasis's gigs in the past, the band had been made aware of his presence. So they just invited their footballing hero backstage and delayed the start of the concert for 2 hours because they spent that time reminiscing. Among the modern heroes of Man City, Noel Gallagher could also name a few, the likes of Sergio Aguero, Yaya Toure and David Silva. Noel loves David Silva so much he'd let him have sex with his wife.
I think it's impossible not to like David Silva.
I think I'd let him have sex with my wife.
So, like the Gallagher brothers or hate them, but after all, they are true Man City fans. And as for you, dear viewers, please remember, like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon and don't look back in anger. See you in other videos.